production. What's going on, Warband? It's been a minute because you guys didn't see me since yesterday. Hi, this is Sir Yeetus. Welcome to episode number 73 of Yeetus' Thoughts. And this topic is going to be pretty hilarious, but at the same time, very sad on the state of how far men will go just so that they can have some type of chance to get in the pants of a woman, and not just any woman. It could be a average woman. It could be a below average woman. That's how bad things are getting out here these days. In fact, I know since the dawn of time, men they tend to do some horrendous deeds on behalf of the woman that they like. But in 2022, it's getting out of control. It is getting insane. And I already have a guest in here to speak on that. You guys already know who this guest is. But before I begin, before we start this live stream, we're going to have to do some shilling, okay? If you guys want to donate, if you guys want to tell me something immediately, if you have a super chat, a question, anything, go ahead and click on the link that I pinned on top of the chat to paypal.me/Sir Yeetus. Any donation is appreciated, okay? Susan is refusing to monetize me for the most bullshit reasons. Yeah. I speak too much truth. You know, I still don't get how Ribby is monetized, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But if you guys want to support the channel, the Warband, if you have a question, a statement, or you just feel like donating, all donations are definitely appreciated. All right, let's add in this person right away. Gray, what is going on?
Evening, Warband. Did you hear about Ribby's sponsorship offer?
I still don't get how he's monetized. I really don't.
No, not just monetized. He got offered a sponsorship deal by guess who?
Oh,
A sugar baby website.
wait, is he sponsoring right now?
No. They offered.
They offered him?
Yes.
What the fuck? Oh, that is so annoying. Oh, that's so annoying. You know what? Chat, hey, if you want to support your boy and support the Warband, if you feel like donating or you have a question, anything, hook your boy up with some donations, okay? All right. You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to, but it'd be definitely appreciated so I can continue developing my channel, okay? There's already artwork coming through, especially by Gray himself. I am very excited about the artwork. Soon I'm going to be switching to OBS to stream. It's similar to Undead Chronic, so I can show off this artwork. You guys will definitely enjoy it, okay? But once again, if you guys decide to donate, I would definitely appreciate it, 100%. But Gray, when it comes to this topic, right? Simps and Whiteknights. I've despised them like a motherfucker. Do you want to start off with your stance on this topic?
Well, I find the phenomenon fascinating because there's a lot of conscious and subconscious influences that lead to white knighting. Like, I honestly think that you can find the modern simp is developed not just on their own personal ideas, like their logical thought processes, or even on societal expectations, but also on biological influences.
Yes, biology does play a big part. I definitely agree with that one.
So it gets down to the various layers of the simp and the white knight. Because white knighting in particular, I find it's a very conscious behavior, whereas simping is more instinctual.
Yeah, white knighting, I just see a dude with a fedora. Talking about milady. You fat fuck.
But even like the image that you head there, I think that's a very fascinating image to break down.
It's a funny stereotype.
Well, not just that, but you've got to consider what the heck did she do, or is she perceived as doing, that gets the entire bloody crowd that riled up at her?
Her manipulation and her sex appeal. Pretty much both.
That's the funny thing. Like, but to get an entire crowd in the area, I think the last time that happened, heads literally rolled in human history.
Yeah, people went to war for bitches.
Helen of Troy, yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. That's how crazy shit can get, you know, with a woman that truly knows what she's doing. When it comes to manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to that aspect, right? Of course, the simp is definitely not going to resist. Hell no, he will think this is the perfect time for him to possibly get laid for the first time in his life. And
that's definitely the white knight stereotype. I think a lot of it actually comes from Arthurian legend with Sir Lancelot.
True. You know, treat a woman like the perfect artifact, and you know, she will repay you back in sexual pleasures.
Well, and that's what the thing. Like, Lancelot basically white knighted hard enough that he got with King Arthur's wife. Like, that's the thing. Lancelot cucked King Arthur through white knighting.
I bet King Arthur wasn't even mad. He was impressed. Like, all right, damn, bro, what the fuck?
Depending on the story you read, they actually ended up having a threesome.
Why does Cuck Murphy's name in his book?
Yeah, no, that very valid point.
But I do see what you're saying, and what I tell men all the time, like, a woman's most powerful weapon is her tongue. All right? The way that a woman can manipulate is way better, in my opinion, than a man. Way better. She can literally get two men to kill each other. Whoa, one is dead, the other one is in prison, and she's already in the sheets of another man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what irks me mainly is why you guys are trying so hard to oppress these average bitches. It makes no sense. Why are you going so hard?
Well, that's the thing. There's a couple different layers to look at. I think Helen of Troy is an interesting example. Because in that one, is it Helen of Troy specifically that causes all that? Well, depending on how you look at the story, for one, you have Aphrodite, who promised the love of Helen of Troy to Paris in exchange for the apple. Then you have Eris, who made the golden apple, and her entire thing was she was basically pissed because she wasn't invited to a party, but she's the goddess of discord. And, you know, starting a war between the Greeks and the Romans is definitely discord. And then, of course, you have the ambitions of men, specifically Agamemnon, who, like, regardless of whether or not they thought Helen of Troy was worth it as an individual woman, it's definitely causes belly to attack the Trojans.
You're right. Yeah. You're right. You're definitely right on that one. And in the end, right? See, this is why I tell men, right? This is why I tell men, since the beginning of humanity, you know, Homo sapiens, women are not instilled with integrity or loyalty, gentlemen. what's happening in Ukraine could easily happen in the U.S. You think that she won't sleep with the enemy? You think that she won't tell the enemy secrets? She only submits to the strongest. And if she deems the enemy to be stronger than the men that's protecting her, she will easily become a fucking a Delilah. She won't give a shit. Please tell me if it's a common thing for a woman to have loyalty and integrity. Please.
Well, no. Like evolutionarily, a woman with loyalty and integrity died and was unable to reproduce. The only place that you could actually theoretically breed a woman with integrity would be a society that has never been defeated.
Exactly. And on top of that, she would have to also be in a hardcore religious family. Like I'm talking about on some Mormon fucking who's the other ones? Fuck.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Those societies, they'll just ostracize. No, you need a society that executes not only the woman, but her entire bloodline. That's the level of severity you would need to actually breed integrity in a woman.
Yeah. And once again, she also needs to fear punishment. No woman in 2022 is afraid of punishment. None. It's downright concerning.
Yeah. But that's where we get into the simping and white knight behavior.
Yep.
Because the primary protection of the women, the simps and the white knights, like, let's be honest, a woman's first simp is her father.
Pretty much. It depends on the severity of the simping.
That's the thing. Severity will vary, yes, but there will always be, like, at least in basically any half decent father, the desire to protect their child.
Of course, yes, I definitely agree. But there's also not plenty of men, but men that are not Western that's able to put their foot down and let her know, hey, you know, I lead, you don't. All right. You follow what I tell you to do. I got the fucking rules. You know. And unfortunately, because of the laws, law enforcement, the government, etc., men are too afraid to put their foot down like that anymore. Their hands are tied behind their back.
Hey, if they're even in the picture to begin with.
Yeah, if the father is still around, yeah. So that's why I don't even want to try to have kids in the first place. You know, not in the West.
What's the thing? Like, they're never
kids somewhere else.
Like in the West, they're never your kids. They're the government's kids.
Yep. Which is why I'm going to a non-Western country that feminism is common and widespread. Because not only I'll be able to keep her in check, society in a way will keep her in check in a non-Western society.
Yeah, that's really the thing with the threat. Like for men, what we will fear above all else is, well, our own deaths. By taking away a man's life and freedom is like, that's the stick that you manipulate men with.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of dying. You know, like what do you mean by death?
Well, that's the thing. So like, to commit a crime, morality is one thing, but most people, I mean, heck, you look at the US and all the places where the threat of prison time has been taken away for petty theft, and you see petty theft skyrocket.
So you're saying time wasted, or because I'm more afraid of my time being wasted?
That's actually an interesting way to look at it. Time wasted?
Because
I don't know. Time can... I wouldn't have prison experience, so I couldn't say. But even time in prison can be utilized to one's advantage.
Well, but that's why when many men that do get released, whether it's they serve their long prison sentence or they were released through proving their innocence, they all say that they regret wasting their time. You know, dying is one thing, but all the years that they wasted, something that they could have been productive in, that's their biggest regret.
But that's really it. Like essentially, when you die, all future time is lost.
Right.
Seriously, if you spend a good chunk of your life trying to be very healthy, working towards like a 10, 20-year investment, to have that threatened to be taken away from you, well, yeah, that's your future time being taken away.
Turns out you got super cancer. Like, fuck. Like, damn. I got a super aggressive cancer that I'm going to die in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. And if your time is taken away, that's your ability to influence the world taken away.
Right.
Like, you can influence the world more from within prison than you can from within the grave.
So, speaking of, how do I say? Speaking of the Whiteknights and Simps, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is your view on women taking advantage of Simps and Whiteknights to do their bidding, to attack a person that is not in their favor, whether it's the truth or a lie? You know, they just say, they like, you know, like, I'm damsel in distress, somebody save me, and then every simp and white knight within the 50-meter radius comes out of nowhere.
God, I've actually been on the receiving end of that once.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like a high school dance. This girl's going around, like, basically grinding on like random dudes. Then when it comes to my turn, put my hand on her shoulders, you know, to reciprocate. She fucking screams, bolts. Comes back a couple minutes later with like 3 dudes.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And why did she do that?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised whatsoever. Because once again, a male's attention is a woman's lifeline. Am I wrong?
Yeah, that's absolutely the case. Like, if a woman receives absolutely no male attention, she's basically she's dead. Like, historically, they crave security from a male because every woman that didn't seek out male security died.
Or it's going to be a very lonely 40 years or 50 years, depending on when they hit the wall.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, they hit the wall. Like, they'll lose a lot of male attention, but it's not the death sentence that it has been for the majority of human history.
True. Okay.
Like I'm not talking the day-to-day monotony and insanity that a woman experiences from isolation. That's a byproduct of her body telling her you need to be around other people. You need to be in communication with people.
Well, yeah, because during travel times, if all the women conspire against her or no man is really interested in her, that's pretty much a death sentence.
Doesn't even need to be all the women. Like, women are on an equal playing field. All it takes is one woman conspiring against her. And since we know that, like, women understand women and they hate each other, they will instinctively turn on one another as soon as there's no value to be had. And I mean, that makes sense too. Like, if you have multiple women in an isolated group, they, by all rights, should want to kill each other. Because that's resources. They're not going to be gathering the resources. They don't have that cooperative bit. They're just trying to spend what resources remain as slowly as possible for themselves. So any additional women are just extra mouths to feed.
And that's what men tend to forget. Women per se are not really that upset when it comes to quote unquote cheating. She can possibly get over that depending on your value. But if you're giving your resources to another woman, taking care of her, the mistress, if you're giving your money to make sure that her car's paid, her rent's paid, whatever is paid, that's when she will flip the fuck out.
Like, that's the thing. A woman won't care how many women you're sleeping with so long as her quality of life doesn't decrease.
Yep, as long as she's the queen bee.
Yeah, like, she wants to be number one, and she wants it to be known. Again, like, they will rather share a winner than have exclusivity of a loser.
But, hey, give me 1 second. I'm starting adding people in. Carry on, what's going on?
I'm good.
Just some random guy was good.
Yo, what's up, brothers?
Island Hermit, what's up?
What up? I can only stay for a minute, guys. I'm getting ready to hit the gym. Just figured I'd pop in for a minute.
What are you working on?
I'm going to do a calisthenic workout today. 100 pull-ups, dips, push-ups, and chin-ups. So mainly an upper body workout.
Okay, I'm going to head out for 1 minute, but explain your perspective on how these Simps and Whiteknights are going so far to protect these martyr women and their bad behavior and decisions.
Dude, I got virtually attacked by Whiteknights today because I'm seeing all the, today is International Women's Day, so I'm seeing all the shit for it. And I posted something, oh, what a fucking joke. And my comment got attacked. Everybody that attacked me was dudes. None of them were chicks. How dare you go after my lady? Like, dude, fuck you. Like, this is a bullshit holiday. Like, men do all the things. Men built society. Why don't we get a holiday? Like, what the fuck did you do to earn a holiday other than lay on your back, spread your leg, and have some babies? Other than that, they did shit.
They bitched. They did a lot of bitching.
Yep. But it's like, what, they bitched and now they get their own holiday? Like, fuck that.
Well, Women's Day is socialist idea. That's right.
You said it was a socialist idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I actually seen a video today where it was a socialist holiday or some shit. So I think you're right.
That makes sense.
Wait, so what happened again?
So,
International Women's Day is a socialist developed holiday.
It is. Well, why the fuck
Yep.
are we celebrating women for doing the mediocre shit?
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, why do we celebrate women? Why do they get their own holiday? What have they done? Like, as far as I can remember, they haven't fought in any wars. They didn't build society. They didn't fucking really do anything but lay on their back, take dick, and fucking make babies.
And hey, there's a select few of women I will give props.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few autistic lesbians, but overall,
I ain't talking about autistic lesbian. I'm talking about women that actually earned their place in history. I call them props.
Yeah, I call them autistic lesbians.
Well, whatever the fuck it is, okay? Hey, they earned their fucking place in history. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I'm talking about select few women.
It's like a very small number, though. Like, if you take that number and compare it to men, it's can't
Yeah.
even compare.
Yeah, that's why I say
Yeah.
select few. Okay, I ain't gonna take that away from them because they're remembered in history for a reason. But once
But that's
again,
the thing. But like, we don't
wait, I'm
we
not
don't
finished.
dead it.
But once again, there's still a select few women. All right. So when it comes to all these other ladies, right, they want to grasp and fucking bathe in the select few women has actually accomplished to be remembered in history and try to claim it as, oh no, all women are empowered, the future is female and fucking,
Yeah.
oh, uh, every day should be Women's Day, and then it will escalate to Father's Day should be Mother and Father's Day.
Yeah.
Well, no.
They just
It's
want-
Father's Day is Special Persons Day.
Uh,
They basically
Yeah,
just
what the
want it to
fuck
be
that
another
is.
Mother's Day.
mhm.
So, once again, most women, I don't know why they're celebrating this shit. I really don't know why. Because personally, I haven't heard, well, like probably like five women that actually did something spectacular to change the course of history.
I mean,
But there's countless men that done phenomenal things for society and history. But women were so oppressed. Women couldn't do anything. Why how are you gonna say that when women couldn't do anything in the first place?
yeah, they didn't want to.
Yeah. Well, what the fuck could they do?
Yeah.
All they did
I'm
is bitch and moan.
Hey, you know
I
what would be a
was.
good show? You should look up things men invented throughout history and things women invented throughout history and just compare them to each other.
Oh, I already
think
know.
I looked it up a long time ago, and like men did all the cool shit, and then like for women it was like chocolate chip cookies and shit like that.
I mean, it's
Is that
good,
really
but
invention something?
There's this one woman I mentioned in my earlier videos months ago that I said, okay, maybe this woman invented Bluetooth and stuff, right? Was the pioneer of Bluetooth. I was like, wait a minute. I had to second guess myself. I'm like, okay, wait, did she do this himself? Was there a team of men around her to actually put that shit together for her?
yeah.
I'm not saying she's stupid. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? See, this is what a lot of people tend to get confused, all right? I am not saying all women are stupid. There are some smart women. I'm saying how they make decisions is fucking trash because they primarily base their decisions on feelings. Feelings. That's a big distinction between men and women. Okay? She can be a fucking genius. And don't get me wrong, there's a couple of geniuses out there. Like, for example, Marilyn Monroe. She was known for having a high IQ. But she was riding the fucking carousel. The president's brother, etc. I don't know how did she die again?
Who,
Suicide.
Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah, how did she die again?
I don't
Suicide.
remember.
Suicide. She offed herself with drugs.
Oh.
So
Oh,
being a genius and stuff, which her IQ was pretty high, she still had her female nature in the way, which in turn caused her to end her life. Do you really think the president will literally kick out the first lady and replace her with Marilyn Monroe? Like, do you really think that the president will face the public backlash of doing that?
What, you
The
think
president
Monroe might
is-
have gotten Epstein?
Right, like no matter what, the president is a Chad by default, except Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, I say he's like far from it.
He's dying at this point, but
what?
he's pretty much dying at this point.
Dude, I seen a video of Joe Biden. He was like, I can't believe Putin's invading Russia. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
And let's not. We'll save that conversation for another time.
Man,
But
you guys have.
When it comes to that other shit, right? Do you really think the president will ruin his image in front of the whole world for you? Really?
Well, that's where it gets interesting, because again, women think in possibilities, men think in probabilities.
Probability. Yep.
But that's why, like, a holiday that International Women's Day is so important to these women, because in their mind, if you can point out that one time one woman somewhere did something notable, every woman will think, oh, that could be me.
Yep. And
Like,
they'll
as soon
bask
as-
in the glory in that person's accomplishments.
Like, as soon as I see this argument time and time again when you talk about the fertility timer, you say, like, oh, like, eggs over 30 are no good. There's always a woman who's like, well, my grandma had had healthy children when she was in her 40s, or like they'll point out some celebrity that did the same thing, as though because that one exception to the rule exists, therefore the rule does not exist.
They put too much focus on the spotlight. They ignore the rest.
But do you guys consider male feminists white knights and
Yeah.
simps?
Definitely.
Because they're the main ones that'll be filling the bullshit in these modern women's ears, saying, "Oh, you can do better. Oh, all of us are equal. Oh, wage gap. Please sleep with me."
Yeah, well, that's where I'd put the difference down, where the simp is the aid to the woman. Like their mind is very female focused, whereas the white knight always takes a more active role. The white knight will actively defend a woman by attacking other men.
Yeah, remember
That's
one
the difference.
video? But you remember that one video with the Indian dude slapping a bitch because she slapped him first? And he got
Precisely.
jumped.
Okay, she's like,
He got jumped.
That's the exact point, because he got jumped, but he wasn't necessarily attacked. It was more so separated by a crowd.
I seen a video. Maybe you can find it one day, Yeetus, and share it with everybody. I'd have to find it. If I find it, I'll send it to you. But it's this girl hitting the shit out of this dude. This guy is just trying to, like, get her away. And finally, he just pushes her. And then fucking, like, 30 white knights just fucking rush him and start whooping his ass. And he's on the ground, like, barely fucking moving. Just because some bitch wanted to start shit with them. And then all the white knights seen she fucking started it, but just because he fucking pushed her away, they all had to attack him.
Yeah, you love it how when the bitch is fucking starting all the drama, nobody moves a muscle. But when the man defends himself, oh, it's the end of the world.
Now that's where it gets interesting, to me specifically, because there's, again, going back to the Helen of Troy, did these guys jump in specifically to defend the woman, or were they just waiting for an excuse?
Yeah. From what I read, apparently she was like so beautiful, men went to war over her. I don't know. I'd have to read up on it, but
That's the thing. That's the story of it. But then you look at the personal politics of it. Like, it's not like they went to war, conquered Troy, and then they just took Helen and left and got absolutely nothing else out of the ordeal.
that's
Yeah.
actually that's a good point.
See,
Actually,
see, that's the biggest thing. This is why I was taught by my dad and how society showed me you can't trust a bitch. You can't trust what she says. You can't really trust what she does. But the best you can do is watch her actions. But even then, I can't even trust that.
Yep. Also, I would say most men, if they're not red pill, they're simps. 90% of the dudes I know are simps and will do anything for a crumb of puniti, dude. It's gross. Like those blue pill alpha friends I told you about at the gym. Fucking dating and knocking up single moms. I'm like, dude, you're like almost a fucking giga chad. Why the fuck did you knock up a 37-year-old single mom? You should, like, if I had your physique, I would be smashing 18, 19, 20-year-olds all day,
Bro.
every day. I would not touch anything over 24. And
I'll
your
be in Puerto
dumbass.
Rico. I'll be in the Caribbean, the Virgin Islands. Man, I'll
Yeah,
be
and his dumbass knocks up a fucking 37-year-old single mom. It's like, yeah, she was a gym thought, so she wasn't bad looking for her age. But for real, dude, like, you're the strongest dude in the gym. You look like a fucking Hollywood actor. Why are you messing with that?
Age is always a big factor when it comes to a man choosing his mate. And a lot of women know this. A lot of women also know that when it comes to her past actions, it's important to a man. That's why she lies about that. Women pretty much lie about everything. Their existence is a fucking lie.
Honestly, I'd say that the fucking Giga Chads, they probably go for these older women because these older women aren't as easy.
I don't know. I'd
What?
say they're probably easy because before
I
she
say
got
they're
with him,
easy.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, yes, like they're easy to get the results out of, but we understand why they're easy. But these women also have like a decade plus, if not 2 decades plus,
like,
of
But
getting men to do what they want. So they know how to
she's post-war.
stimulate a man on more than just the look at me, I'm hot level.
But when she's post-wall, does she really have a choice?
But that's the thing. But like the average Giga Chad, they're used to a woman basically being so fucking starstruck and babbling like an idiot.
no, dude, you should have seen this girl in the gym. Like, first, like, I kind of know her. She works at the bank I go to, and I see her at the gym. And so she was trying to get with me first, and I'm like, oh, hell no, get them 37-year-old dusty eggs away from me. And then fucking she sees my friend, and then my friend was just dumb enough to fall for it. He's like 28, 29. And I'm like, all right, if he's just casually smashing, I guess what harm could come? And then he fucking got feelings for her. And then I tried to talk some sense into him, and he didn't want to listen. Next thing I know, they got a fucking kid on the way.
Yeah. To answer your question, that's what harm can come. You spend enough time smashing a woman, you catch feelings for her. It's biology.
Yeah. Well, I tried to talk sense into him. He didn't want to listen. And he's like, so what if she's got a kid, man? She looks good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, dude, it's my black friend, too.
I mean, give 10
Was
or 5
that
years.
chick white?
What?
Yeah, it was a white chick, and my friend, I think he's mixed.
Well, you know the stereotype among black men. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
I mean,
Yeah,
They will take any white woman that will give them attention.
but
I got another friend. I don't really hang out with him like that anymore. I'll like see him around though, because he's like the definition of a Tyrone. He's been in and out of prison so many times that I can't even count. I work with him, so that's why I still like kind of talk to him, and we'll like go to the gym together sometimes. And this dude's got fucking so many kids with so many white girls, and I'm like, dude, like, why you got all these white bitches knocked up? I went to go pick him up one day. There was like 10 fucking mixed kids just looking at me out the window. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, man, but that's the unfortunate bullshit of African American men these days, right? They are dealing with black women shenanigans. They think that the next best thing they can get is some overweight or some older white woman that will take him. He will think that he moved up in the social order.
Yeah, it's like,
Dating
oh my
a
God,
woman.
a woman that doesn't treat me like absolute garbage. She must be the one.
Pretty much
Why is
the
seems
closest
like-
that a black man will have a submissive woman, he will take it in a heartbeat immediately.
Like, it seems like tell me if I'm wrong, Yeetus, but it seems like it's easier to red pill a white dude over a black dude. Because, like, anytime I try to, like, kind of, like, tell one of my friends who's black about the red pill, they just look at me like I'm crazy.
Well, you gotta also understand that, you know, we have the highest single mother rate in the United States. So, of course, their head is going to be filled with lies on how men should be treating women. You know, or the perception of women will be way off because they don't have no male figure in their life. They just have that woman saying, oh, women are queens, women are this, women are that. Oh, you need to treat them with respect. It doesn't matter if she has a kid by another man, okay? You need to stay with her. True story. Steve Wilkos. That happened.
Yeah, I
You
guess,
don't-
you know, they're pretty much just brainwashed by their single mother that they were raised by. And then the time they grow up, you know, they're just stuck in that blue pill mind frame, I guess.
Right. Even when the baby's not his, the single mother told her son, that was 17 at the time, to stay with that woman and the child.
Oh, and keep in mind, like, you've got that child idea, because that's the thing, when you're a kid, if you disobey your parents, you die of starvation. When the only parent that is your only source of food is your mother, you're going to develop a Pavlovian response to obeying women.
Shit, at 17, I wouldn't give a fuck. Personally, I wouldn't. You want me to stay with a woman that pretty much cheated on me and lied about the kid being mine? Fuck that bitch and fuck you.
Yep, fuck that.
Yeah. But then you see, like, the son husband, so it's not all, but there's definitely that element to it.
Husbands, yep. Especially a famous one, Kevin Durant. He's a famous one. And the most recent one, this one rapper, fuck, I forgot his name, but he said in an interview, which I can't look it up. Was it John Jones? Let me see.
What would your guys' definition of a son husband be? I just want to see if I got the same definition in my head.
Look up Jim Jones and Mama Jones. Okay, it's gotten so disgusting that this dude said in an interview, Jim Jones, he's a rapper, said that his mom taught him how to kiss when he was 14 years old, 13 years old.
That's
I think it was even
gross.
younger than that. And if you see the pictures, once again, Jim Jones.
I know who Jim Jones is.
Yeah, the way that him and his mother interact as an adult, it's not a mother and son relationship. It is beyond gross. And on top of that, the son husband thing is rampant in the black community. Rampant. They literally put the responsibilities of the black single mothers put the responsibility on their sons when they get old enough to fill the void of a husband or a boyfriend. And it also depends on the severity of that situation. It can get really gross. Really gross.
Yeah, I worked with this dude that I would say was the definition of a son husband. He was like 28, still living at home with his mom, and he was like kind of a huge mama's boy. And his mom fucking babied him, and he like kind of was a shitty worker, and he like sold a bunch of drugs and stuff, and had like a kid with a stripper. And yeah, he just seemed like he was the definition of a son husband to me.
Have you noticed how the mother get overly jealous of her son having a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Like, not borderline. It's fucking creepy how the mother gets beyond jealous. The single.
Well, that's the thing. We're going back to like the role of protector and provider. When the son has become the protector and provider for the mother, instinctually she's going to feel the same level of female threat as she would for a mate, because
Yep.
again, it's not about the sex; it's about the resources and security.
Which I said yesterday, and which is why it gets fucking weird, right? You don't have to be the son husband. You can be the boyfriend of the mother, right? Be stepdad or whatever, and the mother will literally compete with the daughter because she fears that her daughter will take away her man. It happens, gentlemen.
Well, no,
I
and then
believe
there's,
it.
and then there's the men that only get with the mother for access to the daughter as well.
Yeah, we know about those type of people.
Man, you see these
Fucking gross, and we need to put a bullet in their fucking head.
you see these these moms competing with their daughters on TikTok, dude. It's gross.
Yeah, literally 50-something-year-olds, 40-something-year-olds dressing just like a teenage girl.
Yep.
It's so weird, so fucking weird. But
Disgusting.
when it comes to the Simps and White Knights, they'll defend all this behavior. They'll defend all of it. They don't hold them accountable. They will literally try to make up some type of bullshit excuse in order to get in favor of whatever woman they try to impress.
I was thinking it goes deeper than that. Like, it's one thing if they're just trying to impress a woman.
Well, I know they're trying to fuck too, but you know what I'm talking about.
No, beyond that, it's not. It's not always about a woman that's there.
Right.
It's about, because again, it's an emotional reaction. I do hear they're just doing that because they want to sleep with them. That's when it gets to the rational stage. But there's always an irrational, emotional aspect to it. And I'm positive that comes from, being so into the blue pill that they are defending their reality.
I agree. I agree. And once they get that slight taste of attention from these women, just because they're advocating for these women's cause, they will go straight up irrational with it.
Well, even if they don't, because think about it, they need this reality to be true. They need women to be perfect. How much abuse from women do you think these guys have suffered and had to just put away and pack away? And if they allowed the thought that women aren't perfect and women might be just as bad as men, if not worse, to enter their thoughts, shit, they'd probably snap and go full red pill rage right then and there. And that hurts.
Well, it's kind of like you grow up, and as a kid, you're basically told women are sugar and spice and everything nice, and you're totally brainwashed, and then you get red pilled, and you're just like, they're more like demons in high heels, and most guys can't.
But the transition is painful. That's the point. And they're avoiding the pain. They don't understand why. They just feel probably physical pain at the idea of a woman not being perfect, and they just push it away rather than process it.
Well, I don't believe that they don't know a woman's not perfect. They obviously know that a woman's not perfect. They clearly know a woman's not perfect. It's just that they deny what they see. So it's they're having two thoughts at the same time. It's like, oh, women are not perfect, but at the same time, women are supposed to be protected and stuff, yada, yada, yada. So they know what's truthful, but they deny it at the same time. That's why they feel pain. They wouldn't feel pain.
That's the thing. They can have accurate information. They know they're wrong, and that's why the pain is there. But rather than accept that they're wrong, they need to push it away because it hurts so much, and denying it feels better than accepting it.
Yeah, they want to feel better, basically.
No, feeling better is a key goal, or like one of the key goals in life, which is strange.
But they want to feel better despite the facts,
Well, actually, there was an interesting experiment. A couple interesting experiments, but this is the one that I think ties a lot into why it's always certain men with the appearance of having certain hormone balances that do this. Like there was a test done with, I think it was like college students or younger, basically. And like they were shown like a happy face and an angry face. And the natural response is, oh, happy face, you'd push a joystick towards it. Angry face, you'd pull it back to get away from it. And so the test was, okay, now when the angry face flashes on screen, immediately push towards it instead of pushing away. And the ones that were able to move forward, move towards a threat, had higher testosterone levels.
Is it like those rats that have high testosterone?
Well, no, it's that the idea is that by moving towards the red face, you are moving forward towards something that is hostile towards you. You are confronting something dangerous, something unpleasant, and you're not running away from it. To not run away from something uncomfortable is correlated to higher levels of testosterone.
Yeah, because if you have more testosterone, it's like, you're more likely to like fight. Now, if you're like a weak soy boy, you got no test running through your body, you're going to be more likely to not fight, to put your head down, to be soft.
Or flail out and freak out and spurg out. A high testosterone man is not like a raging bull. Like they're calm. They're raging on the inside, but they're still
calm
focused.
And confident, I would say.
Makes sense.
But hey guys, I'm gonna jump off. I'm about to head out to the gym, so I just wanted to jump on for a minute and bullshit with you guys. So,
all right.
No problem, man. Hey, no two full scoops of pre-workout.
Nope. I did a scoop and a half. I'm ready to go. And fuck International Women's Day.
Yeah. Fuck.
Watch my string get taken down because of that.
You bitches didn't do a goddamn thing. Go fight in a war or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ukraine will take you.
Yeah, they have the choice too. They have the choice.
Yep. I don't see them taking them up on it. I see a lot of cosplay with their fake airsoft guns, but I don't see a whole lot of actual doing.
I see a lot more of them running away than going in. So
I see a lot of them taking fucking Instagram photos and shit. Talk about I support Ukraine and Ukraine this, Ukraine that, and they're not even doing shit. They're just themselves.
Buy my own fence.
It was funny. I went over to my dad's house the other day and he had the news on, and in the background they're just talking about how women are fighting in the war, and I'm like, oh my god, all fucking lying ass hoes.
What? All 6 of them?
Yeah, but the media and the news was trying to make it look like women are like doing everything, and I'm like, just shut up. Women aren't doing shit.
Given the Russian soldiers' STDs does not count as a combat encounter.
Damn.
Yeah, they're fucking under their knees, under a coffee table, serving some Russian Chad with his fucking AR-15. That's about as most they're doing.
The only combat equipment they
Once again, chat. They will not hesitate to sleep with the enemy. Remember that.
Yeah. The only combat equipment they the only combat equipment they requested was knee pads.
And that's why women are able to move on so fast also, because back in the day when tribes were taking over other tribes, they would fucking, for survival, they would go to the men from the following tribe, and that's why they're able to move on so fast today. That's why they have a new man in like a week after you break up, and you're like, you're still like heartbroken over it and all that bullshit, and they're fucking getting dicked down in a week.
Hell, not just dig down by your best friend.
Yep. Damn. By the mailman, by the neighbor.
The milkman.
It's insane, but hey, Island Hermit, thank you for joining, man.
Yep, and hey, hurry up and get monetized so I can donate money without doxing myself.
I'm trying, man. I'm fucking trying.
Dude, I was surprised that Ribby was monetized.
Same bullshit. I tried to monetize myself 4 times. 4 times.
Yeah, Ribby is monetized, and I think Manic's monetized too. So
Manic,
Yeah.
I understand, but how the fuck is Ruby monetized?
yeah,
That's
because
something I'm
Manic's
trying to
made
figure out.
Manic's made basically just gaming content, so it
Yeah,
makes sense
Manic, I
why.
don't give a fuck. But how the fuck did Ribby get monetized?
Damn.
Yeah, because if you
honestly,
think about it, similar content. So if like he's able to get monetized, you think you would be able to, but
Yeah,
nah,
that's what I'm
Yeetus is
saying. Like,
Yeetus
what
is
the fuck?
Yeetus is way too harsh.
see,
Like
he had
Ribby's all
TFM on the show too many times. Now you ain't never gonna get monetized.
Well,
that
based
too.
on what Ribby's talking about in his shorts and stuff, it threw me and Undead Chronic off guard that he's monetized.
Might be
Maybe
the- it's
Susan's
not-
a frog.
But he also never had
He's a
TFM
fraud.
on his show. TFM was on your show, and Susan's like, "Oh fuck no, this fucker ain't never seeing no money now."
Well, worst comes to worst, I'm gonna have to delete videos because they said that I'm using reusable content. That's the reason why.
Wait, what?
Oh, copyright. Probably like videos, clips
Yeah,
that you
not
played or something.
copyright per se, but they deemed that the videos, at least the ones I didn't talk into yet, like my earlier ones, they think that I'm just copy and
see.
pasting videos.
Yeah, oh yeah, you got to have the transformative stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so soon I am going to delete all videos I haven't spoken into.
And then
So-
release them remastered with
Remastered.
with director's commentary.
I already
DLC.
I'm already going to
Dude.
live with the fact that my channel's probably never going to get monetized, and I'm okay with it. I kind of just bullshit and do what I want anyway on it. So,
All right, man. But hey, Alan Herr, thank you for joining, man.
all right, peace, man. See you guys.
Peace, poop,
Peace.
tea. So,
Need to.
before we continue, because now we are going to get into the nitty gritty, I'm going to show one more time. If you guys support Sir Yeetus' channel or the Warband, or you guys want to give a super chat, or you just feel like donating, click on the link on top of the chat, okay, that I just pinned, and donate to paypal.me/Sir Yeetus. All donations are appreciated, okay? All donations are definitely appreciated. I am very close to have a high production channel. It's all coming together. Hopefully, I'm going to have it by April. But everything that I have right now, like you see my cool GIF, you see it? See it right there? Right there? With the flames and the souls in the background. Because of you guys' donation. All donations are appreciated, gentlemen. If you want to donate, go ahead and click on the link. So, back to the topic. When it comes to Simps and Whiteknights, right? Would you guys blame the Simps and Whiteknights as one of the main reasons why society has gone to shit?
Definitely.
Yes.
What about you, Gray? Is Gray gone?
No. I'm sorry.
I was about to say.
I'm thinking.
I was
I'm
thinking.
thinking on that one. Short answer, yes. Just wondering how deep it can go.
Well, it goes back to 1919 with the Simps in power.
I mean, I think the problem is that the times change, and there's too many boys. There's too
that's
many
the thing.
boys that teach how to treat a woman. you
But
know?
keep
But
in
there's
mind, like
no-
Simps
Just
in
remember,
power.
guys, it's not just that. It's definitely something a lot bigger than that.
Nah,
Which I
yeah.
will
that's the-
focus on women getting certain rights, certain say of what happens to the country.
You know what?
They don't have to have any type of responsibility or sacrifice
Yeah.
anything.
You know what? No,
That
I'm going to
passion.
say no. They're not the ones that are ultimately responsible.
Who's ultimately responsible?
The powerful men that know they can manipulate large amounts of men by controlling women.
See, that's the big thing. I say Simps in power. That's my
That's the thing.
nickname.
But I don't call them simps because I don't think
Well,
of them as
o-
simps in
over
power because
time-
they don't simp.
Over
They-
time, yeah.
they act the simp for political points, but when push comes to shove, they're not simps. You know what? I'll give Trudeau as a fucking example. Justin fucking feminist Trudeau, woman trampled on his orders, women locked away on bullshit charges on his orders. He does not give a flying fuck. He does not prioritize women over men. He only does that for political points.
But what about as time goes on, right? Hell, when we use 1919 as an example, right? I'm talking about, now I'm talking about modern feminism and onwards.
No, that's the thing. Like,
because once again, at that time,
like a simp could not. They didn't. Okay, they had a say, but they weren't the ones at the top of the fucking totem pole. All the men who would have voted against women getting the vote were sent off to die.
Well, that just means that.
Well, we've been doing that since 1919, yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, who's killing them off? The women or the men at the top who want large populations of men dead for their own political gain?
You could say that, but at the end, it's still those guys. Those guys still allow that to happen. You could say the ones that chose not to, like, without chose against the rules.
They allowed it to. They didn't allow it to happen. They made it happen.
Okay, then wait. That means these people are consequent. That they are the ones that caused it to happen. Even if they're not in power, they allowed it to happen. You said
the ones at the top want it to happen, and yeah, there's a whole bunch of fucking like simps and cucks at the bottom.
You could say the ones at the top like forced it and did machinations to make it happen. But let's say this: me and my 5 friends rule this rural country, and we can like make most stuff happen as long as people follow our rules. But if 50 people that we're controlling say no, we're not going to follow your rules, what will happen?
You know, I actually support Gray on that, because try to imagine something like this. Sure, the men in power make the rules, and those below they enable it. But and we could rebel, sure. But I was thinking about they if you can't make someone obey you, you put shackles on them, and you enslaved into something. And from my point of view, I consider you use families and women to shackle men to the government so they don't rebel against them.
That's exactly it. What was the primary force behind the creation of the Taliban? A whole bunch of single, unmarried men without families or ties down. How the heck does everything that's happening right now, the manosphere, grow? A whole bunch of men not being bound by women anymore. Yeah, it's one thing to rebel. It's like, okay, those 50 guys won't follow you. Fine. You go after their women. You go after their children. You put guns to them, and then see, you still want to fucking rebel when I've got your fucking wife and children right here?
But can five people really pull a gun on 50 people?
You don't need to. You fucking pull a gun on one of them, one of their wives, one of their fucking children, and they will turn on the other 49 in a fucking heartbeat.
So the people were so afraid that they chose to be slaves. I don't have respect for any of them. If I could go back in time, I would slave.
Okay, are you going to go after your government?
Well, my government? Yeah.
Do you have a gun right now? Are you going to go after your fucking feminist government and stop them right now? Or is there something that you want to live for?
If my government told me to do something that I was vehemently against, and I believe that will cause damage to my family and the people I cared about, I will go against them.
What about just you? What about just you? Not your family, not anyone else. Are you going to go for the government just for you?
Just for me. Just because if someone else, I would.
Yeah, but
then why haven't you?
Kieran, but the problem is you going against him brings harm to your family.
Yes, but that's
my actions. You are going against him.
Still, my in the time people had way more power than now. An individual person had way more power than now. Governments have way more power now than back in those times. Governments can do ridiculous things now. They didn't have the power of the internet, and the social media and all the stuff wasn't so. It wasn't been around back then. Media was strong, but it wasn't like. Yeah, well, I guess it could be as stronger now because information is more easier to transfer now with the internet and so on. But if people do have rights to choose. You can say, yeah, it would have hurt them, it would have hurt their family. That's like saying everyone in Nazi Germany could have, like, if they knew what happening, would they stop it because they would have family would hurt or something bad will happen?
We've seen nowadays that the average person will absolutely sell out their fucking neighbors for the time.
That doesn't mean
power.
Yes, but I can still blame that person. That person chose to sell out their family.
No, they didn't choose to sell out their family. They sold out their neighbors.
Okay, they sold someone out. They chose to. My actions. You can say, I believe that everyone's they have free will. There are certain things there. It's going to be hard to do, but let's say COVID. That's not good. Let's just not go there. That could cause a lot of problems with the street. Let's just not go that on.
Yeah, but that's exactly the point. Look at how much people comply with that just for the convenience of it.
Hey, I'm going to interrupt you guys. Rishi got a question. Who wins, the man who has something to lose or the man who has nothing to lose?
Obviously, the man that has nothing to lose is going to do stuff because he has nothing to lose.
Yep.
You give a man a wife, you give a man a wife and children, something to live for, something that he wants to see tomorrow, he's far less likely to strap a bunch of explosives and ball bearings to his stomach.
Yep, I agree.
It really does. It really does depend on the shit. Like, yeah, you can say a person has nothing to lose might do more. They don't have any self value or they don't want to see anything beyond themselves. But let's say someone has a family and behind this horde of people that are going to attack them, their family's there waiting. Will they try to fight more harder than a person that has nothing to lose?
Okay, no, but you're not thinking that. That's not the situation. The situation is you and your family can lose a little if you comply, or you can lose everything if you defy. Are you willing to risk losing everything instead of only losing a little bit?
Yep, similar to that one situation that happened in 1941 or 1939.
Yeah, I understand, but just like that idea is the reason why all this shit happens. Because people
Because the people in power, the people at the top, know how people work. And they know that people are going to let others walk all over them so long as it's done in small increments. That's why it's 2 weeks to flatten the curve. And it's now over 2 years later.
Hey, hold up. Rishi, but the man who has something to lose has something to fight for. See, that can be a double-edged sword.
Yep.
Yeah, if that's threatened. Because if you have something to fight for, that something can be taken from you and used to manipulate you.
Yeah, and I would
how do you think the gangs, the mafia,
if you're gonna fight for your children,
successful all this time, how do you think these organizations were able to assert so much dominance among the people? Because you may not give a fuck, but you give a fuck about your family and friends.
Yeah, and I would add another point to that, because the man who has nothing to lose also has something to gain fighting.
If he dies, just whatever.
And if he wins, he gets something.
He is literally the most dangerous man out there. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you'll say, "Oh, I'll do anything for my wife and kids. I'll fight the government for them." It's like, okay, the government now has your wife and kids. Now, are you going to obey the government, or are you going to defy the government and lose your wife and kids?
Yeah, Rishi, I see what you're saying, man. The man who has nothing to lose can be cowardly or courageous. See, I see what you're saying, but more likely than not, the man would be more courageous because what else does he have here that he's going to stay alive? Like what?
Yeah, but there's so many men that have nothing to lose right now.
What else does he have that it will benefit him if he literally has nothing to protect?
You say so many, but really, what percentage is so many? It's still
Okay,
a
then-
minority. Of
Literally,
men.
wait, who, me or who?
No, that's the thing.
No.
Like Carry On says, like so many men have
Majority-
nothing to
well,
lose. But like, what
it's
percentage of
definitely
men?
depending on the age. It's like they're of 30 plus. They mostly have children. Well, would it be 30? I guess 30, 40, around that age range, because there's less people being born and all that crap. So there's definitely like certain people that are more likely to have children when they get to those levels. But younger than, like, let's say 25 and younger, those people happen to have less people or less connections with people in general.
All I know
Well,
is
yeah.
I'm much rather
And that-
go up against a man that has something to lose and nothing to lose.
But here's the thing: the men who have something to lose, they're united by that.
It
Because
depends.
like the men, like that's the thing.
Because
If you
I
could
can get a
get,
hold of
That's
what
the-
he has something to lose, he'll be way more. He'll think way more carefully. If I was able to get a hold of
but
what he
that's the thing.
holds dear,
But it's not one. You're not up against one person. You're outnumbered. And yes, if all the men who had nothing to lose could get
I
together,
thought we were just talking
that-
about just one person going up against the government or whatever.
yeah, that's the thing. But that's who you're. But you have, if you're going to go up against the government, you have to go up against
Oh,
every
I was
man.
speaking on the government side.
Okay.
I was speaking on the big dog side.
Yeah. Now, on the big dog side, if you've got a man who's got something to lose, you gain control. You acquire control of it.
Right.
And it's super easy to do. I mean, for shit's sake, if you're making plans and then you go off to work and then a man in a suit comes and talks to your wife and she tells you that a man in a suit came and talked to her that day, yeah, you're going to fucking shit a brick.
Yeah, that'll be beyond red flags right there.
It could be even easier. They could just cut your electricity and water.
No, they don't have to go that far. Just a phone call to indicate that they know when you're not home.
Yep. That's how
That's
the cartel, that's how the mafia, that's how gangs operate per se, when it comes to getting what they want. Besides killing you.
Like the man has, unless the man is working entirely from home, he has to leave the house. He has to leave the house to go get the resources. And nowadays, it's super easy to know when the man who's got to get the resources is out of the house.
Yeah, that's what you're saying is true, but at the same time, the person has nothing to lose is easily manipulated. I can see that too. Let's say you have nothing to lose, and I'm giving you something. If you just follow my rules, and I'll give you everything you possibly could want. In my power. Let's say this.
But how much
Yeah.
power do you have?
No, I'm going as if I was a government. Let's say this. That I'm making rules that are going to affect people that have something to lose. But I know that if I get people that have nothing to lose and I give them something in return for them protecting me from the people that have something. So they say this. Both sides are they say someone has something to lose and someone has nothing to lose. They can both be manipulated by those attributes that they don't have or do have.
Yeah, and who has more power to get to these men than the government?
Who?
The government makes promises. That's the thing. So you have, the man who has nothing to lose. Yeah, but the man is dangerous to the government when he stops believing their promises.
Yep. I agree.
When the man can no longer be manipulated by the government through their words, then they would have to go for the things that bind him. Because most men are manipulated by the government, by the media, by the people in power, by the tech oligarchs, by all the people who have all the influence across the world. Those are the people who manipulate men through fantasies every single day. And it's only the men that turn away from that the government goes, okay, these men are a problem. Well, then we go for their wives. Then we go for their children. We get their families so entrenched. These more manipulable people to believe in us and to invest in us, so that even if the man fucking despises us, he knows that as soon as he turns against us, he loses all that's precious to him, because what's precious to him will side with us over him.
Exactly. Like the big picture of what's happening today, right? See, NATO could easily run over Russia right now if he wanted to. But Putin can end the world if he wanted to. That's the only reason why NATO has not get involved with the Ukraine and Russia conflict. If the adversary, aka the government, has nothing hanging over your head, that's when you become really dangerous.
Yeah. And that's when they go to the next step. It's like, okay, we can't manipulate this man. Next step, isolate him. You make it so that, okay, one man going crazy on his own, we've got a powerful enough apparatus, we can deal with that. And that's where they go through all these social media stuff. They crush every single bit of talk of dissent. And we have to fucking hide our faces and hide and make our locations obscure. Why? Because we all know what will happen to us if the powers that be figure out who we actually are.
We get canceled.
If we're lucky, that's all we get. Fucking Trudeau feels no qualms about, okay, yeah, canceled, whatever. Yeah. Imagine you fucking wake up tomorrow, swipe your card for fucking breakfast, and bam, your account is gone.
Just gone. Just
Trudeau's like, yeah, like whoever your fucking government is goes like, yeah, no, you can't have any money anymore. And by the way, we saw that you fucking donated to this third-party website, got your information from that website. That's how we know it was you. Your bank account is locked. You can't pay rent. You can work. You can get your paychecks, but unless your boss is paying you in fucking cash, you can't even cash the effort of your work anymore. You're fucked.
Yep. That's why more and more people in Canada and the United States are starting to take out a shit ton of money out of their bank accounts and turn it to cash.
Yeah, and that's that they're scared enough that they're actually passing it on to just random truckers, being like, look, if this doesn't go to you, pass it on to another trucker. I'm that scared that the government will trace my bank account if I donate through any sort of online method.
Which already happened, right?
Yeah.
Which is beyond fucked up. How is he still in office? Yeah, I know how he's still in office. I know he is, but it's just I don't know. I don't know what's going through Justin's head.
You can get a bunch of people to get together and to like organize the protesting, but then if you actually make a call for one step beyond that, they'll immediately realize the kind of threat that they are under by associating with you, and they'll discard you.
But
the same people who will protest for you who will fucking stand outside and protest with you are not willing to fight and die for you.
And a leader of society is only as strong as the people that are willing to obey.
Yeah, and the majority of the population will obey because they have more to lose by defying than by obeying.
Well, but when things get more dire, the common people won't give a fuck.
That's the thing. It has to get to the point where they can no longer provide, for their families. When gas gets too expensive, that they have to choose between food and fuel.
Yeah,
and
don't remind me about that shit.
Yeah, fuck. that day's coming, and it's coming soon.
Shit, it already came today, at least for the States. Fuck.
From what all you guys said, it just comes to me as one thing. All those people at that time had no morals. They didn't have a strong backbone. They were easy to control. You could have something to lose and still say, no, I'm not going to bend because you have that in your hands.
I just have one more question, though. Do you think it's so confusing how Biden is saying, hey, we're going to stop all imports from Russia, but he doesn't finish the pipeline where we can have self-sufficient oil that we can give to ourselves. Also, he plans on going to Saudi Arabia to suck off the king in order to try to keep the gas prices low.
It's economic destruction under the guise of environmentalism, plain and simple.
Yeah, I think
Right. They said, don't blame Biden, blame the oil companies.
Biden can literally force the oil companies to make an even price.
I'm like, of course the oil companies are going to try their best to make this. This is a perfect opportunity to make that money. Perfect. Shit. If I was in charge of a major oil company, I might have done the same thing. You know how much profit you can get today?
I mean, honestly, having stocks in oil is just kind of a guarantee. But there's definitely an element of geography for it, because we've proven that the U.S. government would rather ship oil from overseas than have it transferred over land.
But unless the United States is able to resume the oil drilling and finish that fucking pipeline, we're in trouble. Oh, we have reserves. Yeah. Imagine having reserves for 300 plus million people. Let's find out how long that lasts.
Wait,
What,
how
a
much
month?
is a liter of gas in the USA right now?
Liter. That's the thing.
Liter.
U.S. runs in gallons, so that'd be 4 times what. Like for me, it's up to $1.85 a liter today. So it's getting closer to like $7-8 a gallon now. Relatively.
With those barrels that we're buying from other countries, the fears is it's going to go up to $300 per barrel.
Damn.
You know, that's why Sleepy Joe is going to Saudi Arabia to try to have some type of solution to this, which I don't think is going to happen. Nobody.
There's already been. He's already been. Do you know what? Do you know what just happened? I think this morning.
What he said? I don't. Give
A Saudi prisoner in Guantanamo for the past 20 years was released.
Hey, what'd you say?
What? A Saudi prisoner who was in Guantanamo for 9/11 related shit
about that.
Was released.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, well, what a coincidence, right?
What a coincidence.
He's going to get released to a mental health place somewhere.
Yeah. Basically, he doesn't matter where he's going. He was.
I know he's released in the end, but I'm just saying that's their excuse.
Yeah, their excuse is that he's been there for 20 years and he was mentally ill. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Yeah. See, people can't, at least people who don't really pay attention to politics, can't comprehend that politics is just a very important business. That's all it is, politics. Politics is just business amongst very important people, because politicians are supposed to have influence among the people. And if you have influence among the people, you'll be able to...
It's not even influence. It's the guaranteed income of taxes.
Okay, that too. But what I'm saying is, if you have influence among the people, then you'll be able to have some type of sway to create certain policies, create certain laws, or whatever the fuck it is, to benefit the lobbyists, to benefit the banks, to benefit the billionaires.
Do they really need that, though?
No,
do they really need
they want more money.
Do they? No, that's not what I'm talking about. Does a politician really need the people to love them to enact those things?
No, they just need the votes.
To an extent, no.
But do they need the people to vote for them, or do they just need the people to believe that they got the votes?
Vote and tolerate tolerate the politician.
That's the thing. They need to convince the public that they are legitimate enough that there is no open rebellion. They need to create plausible deniability, enough plausible deniability that the people have somewhat of a say, that the people don't go, oh, we're fucked. Like Trudeau got in with a grand total of 17% of the population's consent. And that's enough legitimacy. No, that's the thing, because only like he got 30% of the vote and like maybe 50% voter turnout. That's like he got like grand total of the population that could vote. that voted for him, 17% of all potential voters voted for Trudeau, and now he's in power.
That's why I tell people, if you don't have no good reason why you didn't vote, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. I really don't.
But it was
I don't
17.
give two fucks about what you got to say if you didn't use your voting power to support the person that you want in office.
Yeah,
if you just ignored the entire situation, I'm not really feeling it, because how the fuck you gonna complain about something that you never even bothered to change?
Yeah, but that's the thing. But of everyone who could vote, only 17% of the population is required to get a minority government, and then they turn to their fucking communist friends, the NDP, and we're like, yeah, we'll form a coalition government. And between the two of us, we have more than the Conservatives. Because there's like 3 communist parties in Canadian Parliament and only 1 remotely non-communist party. And they just basically fucking bend over every time the lefties want to do something.
But Gray, what was the percentage of votes for Trudeau?
Of the people who voted, 30%. Of everyone who could have voted, 17%.
Oh, 7. And it still won? What the fuck?
Like, if everyone was forced to vote and everyone who didn't vote just said, I vote for no one, Trudeau got 17%. Of everyone who did vote, Trudeau got 30%. That's because about half the population didn't even bother.
Oh, I see.
And that's enough.
So GG to HH. I don't really give 2 shits anymore about the political stances in this country, because it's in a loss. Like, it doesn't give a fuck who we choose at this point. But I personally don't really like it when somebody complains about somebody but didn't do anything about it.
Like, that's the thing. If you cast a vote, even if there's political machinations behind the scenes to get rid of your vote, they still have to put that kind of effort in.
Right, and once again, shit happens. Yeah, they do cheat in the voting polls. I've seen video evidence of it. You know, but in the end, it's like, you know.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. Even when there's some video evidence out, there's enough. There's just enough for most people to go, it's not really worth fighting over because I'm not entirely convinced. They rationalize. They emotionally don't want to expose themselves to danger. And so any rationalization is like, oh, well, they were elected. Like, that's the thing. They rationalize, and that's all the reason they need to justify not fighting back.
Yeah, I think that goes back to the...
What's it called? It's like complaining about being fat and not going to the gym.
Yeah, and then they complain like, oh, I go to the gym and I get ugly looks because I'm fat. It's like, no, you fucking don't. No one in the gym's fucking shit talking you for being fat. They're all supportive. You're just making up excuses to not go.
I don't give a shit about. I'm trying to get these gains in. I really don't give a fuck about what you look like. As long as you're in the gym, that's all that matters.
No, that's the thing. But they don't want to go to the gym, so they make up evil people at the gym. Yeah. And those boogeymen allow them to justify to themselves to not go.
And don't get me wrong, there's some few fucked up people, probably preppy trust fund kids, but that's a very small. That's the exception. Majority of people don't give a shit about what you do or what you look like. Just hit them weights, because newsflash, there's probably a good amount of people in that gym that was in your position.
And quite frankly, most fat people more so than going to the gym, though that definitely helps. They can just stop fucking eating.
That's a big thing. Stay hydrated.
And eat, like, stop eating tons of shit and eat better. Like, I've heard it straight from my fucking grocery store clerks. Like they can tell the weight of a person by the fucking food that they buy at the grocery store.
Yep, and
Well, you
drink
should.
nothing but water. You will see you'll lose weight like a motherfucker if you drink
Fiji water.
nothing but water. Because
I got a fucking TNG fuels about as fucking austere as I can go, man. Like I'm working on it. I've successfully cut soda out of my life.
But yeah, because that's a big thing. A lot of people in the States, they like to drink their calories. You know,
Booze,
if
especially.
you just drink water, you're going to start slimming down within the first 2 weeks.
I mean, in my country, we have a lot of meat and more natural food. You know, I was kind of curious how it is in the USA. If you have a lot of healthy food too, or what?
There's ways to get healthy foods in most countries that are first world. It's
Yep.
just that
There's some cheap, healthy foods you can get.
yeah, it's just that people don't know, or they're just too lazy to get up and find it.
And that's the thing. The stuff's on the shelf, but to get healthy food, you have to cook it.
Yes.
And most
Yeah.
people don't want to do that. They want to, at most, throw it in the microwave.
Do you know how many cheap
Yeah.
veggies are out there? How many ground turkey bulks or chicken, mainly chicken breasts that you can get for cheap? You don't have to get red meat.
Yeah, but it's,
You know.
it's the perception of wasting time. They see it as like, oh, it's a waste of time. I'm just to eat to get like food, so I don't feel like I'm starving. That's why most people buy cheap food. It's not because they think in their head like, oh, if I eat this, it'll benefit my body. Oh, if I do this, it'll benefit me. People thinking, oh, it's a waste of time and yada yada yada, because that's how they see it as. They see it as a waste of time to do certain things that can
They're
benefit
just-
them in the long run.
That's the thing. They say waste of time. That's their excuse for being lazy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Hell,
you're
after the gym, I'm willing to eat anything. I don't give a fuck what it is. A weak ass salad, I'll eat it.
Yeah, and as
I
for
mean-
wasting time, like best thing I ever got was started meal prepping. I just make a week's worth of food in advance in one day.
Every Sunday.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Like,
every
do, like,
Sunday.
shopping on the weekend. Make a week's worth of food. Bam, fucking set.
And I don't give a fuck how you feel about, oh, but it's just chicken and it's just rice and broccoli and blah, blah, blah.
damn.
Well, if you
chicken's
were
nice, man.
focusing on cooking in the first place, you wouldn't be eating this bland ass food, now would you? But in the end, I don't give a fuck about how much pleasure you get from food, especially when you're trying to lose weight and get them gains. Food is just energy. I don't give a fuck about how you feel about the flavor. Eat it.
Yeah,
And a lot of it, and tons of it, is also portion control. Like there's tons of people like they eat just really large amounts, and I'm not even talking about the really ones. Like guys who I look at and go like, you could probably stand to lose about 30 pounds. I look at the portion sizes that they eat. And it's like, yeah, that explains why you're 30 pounds overweight, dude.
But I am eating chicken and broccoli, like a whole giant ass bowl, bruh.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I'll use a fucking comparison. So like, bring to lunch, it's like fucking half a Tupperware container of pasta, and like small bag of veggies, and like one of those fucking Halloween, like 2 or 3 maybe of those little Halloween chocolate bars. And I consider that a pretty full meal. Bugger brings like a fucking full-on sandwich instead of a bag of veggies, and what looks like an entire takeaway container full of pasta.
Well, for me, if you're
And a
hungry, if you're so hungry, drink water.
Yeah. Your body just wants to feel full. That's why these people
Yeah.
are used to feel
Yeah.
full.
Drink water. I don't give a fuck. You need to wait until your eating window comes in. Until then, keep on drinking. Drink that water.
Like fuck, man, I'm going through. Like I might have to go get another cup of tea in a minute. I'm going through that shit.
Oh.
pretty fast.
Did you say tea?
Tea, yeah.
Yeah, tea
Where's
works too.
Manic?
Green tea is good.
Yeah, I'm not quite at that level of austerity. It's still black tea. I'm still putting a little bit of cream and sugar in it, but
You put cream in there.
No, I just
milk and tea, not cream. Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't take my time. I just down that bitch. I don't try to enjoy it. I just drink it, every morning. That green tea shit.
Yeetus just eats the leaves.
Eat the leaves.
Yeah.
Chewing on it like a fucking bubble gum.
Tea leaves are not that bad. Just like pure tea leaves with a little bit of honey is actually good.
I used to put honey in my tea, but not anymore.
Yeah, no, like you can acclimate to it, but I used to go through like a shit ton of soda, so I'm working my way to a bit of a healthier diet.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not telling people, oh, you can't have sweets, you can't have junk food, you can't have a drink, you can't have soda. No.
Well, you could
have moderation.
Then.
Yeah, moderation is key.
You can have a healthy option for those, like sweets and all that stuff. Like you get berries. Berries would probably be better than sweets. They'd be like you probably get the same feeling most of the time. Or like you don't have to get like fizzy drinks and stuff like that. You can juice stuff like cucumber. Cucumbers are like fine with apples. Cucumbers and apples taste pretty good if you like made that into a smoothie or something like that. It's just that people don't know or they just don't want to waste the time for doing it. So that's for most things. That's why a lot of shit happens. It's because people don't have enough time to actually look around and solve the problems.
They have the time, they just don't do it.
They don't want to waste the time. Like you can say, like someone has bad children. They say, "Oh, I'm too busy." It's like you're not too busy. You just don't want to waste your time with your child because you see them as a burden or something like that, or waste of your time.
That makes sense because most of the times I see my brother. He goes to get some cola, while I go and get some fruits and make a smoothie. Some vitamins.
Hey, Tavar. I completely give up soda and milk and my acne vanished overnight. Yeah, I used to be a gigantic fan of milk. Do you know how much I got in trouble in my childhood? Drinking literally most of the gallon of milk. Milk tasted good.
I'm guilty of that, bro.
I don't drink it anymore.
I never liked the taste of milk.
Where you get your calcium?
When I get my calcium,
meat.
Yep.
Usually red meat. I don't know if that's enough, but
it does come in other sources. I think green vegetables also have calcium.
Oh, I do eat a lot of greens.
I think broccoli has calcium.
I love broccoli.
Yeah.
Broccoli is actually really good for you. Actually, it's because it's high in potassium, and that counteracts sodium. So
the only 2 times I'll try milk is in cereal or in some type of fucking ice cream. Yeah, that's the only 2 times.
Sorry, fucking cereal and milk. I have always found that disgusting. Can't explain why. I just always have.
What?
Hey,
I like porridge.
I mean,
I got that non-name brand cereal type shit.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
Genius.
Like I stopped eating cereal as a kid, and just cereal and milk just always seemed gross. I could never get behind it.
I think it's that left back when I hear about what's it called, the American breakfast, bacon, eggs, and pancakes. I'm like, wait, what?
Well, your palate does change as you get older because there was a phase when I was a teenager. I think between 14 and 15 years old, I couldn't stand orange soda. It tastes like medicine to me. I loved orange soda, but then out of nowhere, it just tasted so fucking weird. I'm like, fuck this shit. I can still drink orange soda now, but during that phase, I think my palate was changing. I was like, ugh, this is fucking gross.
Well, that does actually happen. Children are actually far more sensitive to bitter tastes than adults because they have a smaller body mass and they need to be more sensitive to poison. And often poison is bitter.
So that's why I like salty foods today, huh? I'm
I
not
don't
really
think
a
I
sweets
would.
guy.
I don't think I ever went through that. I still eat everything I ate when I was a child.
Well, don't get me wrong. I ate a shit ton of food,
but like something
when I was going through puberty and shit. or whatever.
Eating
Yeah,
sand.
like
I
even
couldn't
I-
I couldn't deal with that orange soda for like a year and a half.
I never had anything like that because like my family were mostly mostly
Well, I'm
healthy
sure there were
compared to most
foods
people.
when you were growing up you stopped eating out of nowhere.
Nope, no. I
No,
everything I didn't
not
like
one
as well.
food.
I'm not a picky eater. I will eat.
Eat sand.
Like
That's
one,
that's
the
part of
only
it too. But
thing
like for example, sorry, you go.
so what I'm saying is, I'm sure you'll still eat it, but you're not actively looking for it. You know, compared to a child. Today, I'm not actively looking for sweets at all. I am actively looking for some good protein and fucking
Some fruits.
fruit. No, I don't even look for fruits like that. I aim
Really?
for protein and vegetables. That's my go-to.
Mm.
I know I'm getting old.
I guess my
You know?
dietary plan was much different from like I guess your dietary plan because I was mostly on like vegetables and stuff like that. Didn't really drink dairy products and so on because I had like lactose intolerant, but it wasn't that bad. So I was pretty healthy. So my diet probably didn't change because it wasn't as like
Shit, my diet was bad growing up, and I was ripped as fuck in high school. I was you can see the fibers in my muscle. Woo! It was
Damn.
insane. I got grounded from junk food, literally, because I drank 3 2-liter sodas in one day.
Nah, I could never
Three
do
of
that.
I mean, in the span of a couple hours, type shit. You know, my mom was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I'm like, you told me as long as I hit the gym, I can eat whatever I want. That's not what I fucking meant. I got stuck eating some plain ass baked chicken and wheat bread and like this is some bullshit, right?
That's
Hell,
nice.
I almost literally got in deep shit when my mom found out I ate almost a whole gallon of ice cream. Literally in one sitting.
Oof. I'm trying to imagine a skeleton with osteoporosis right now.
But in all seriousness, though, like, I literally ate an entire gallon of ice cream in one sitting, almost the entire gallon. And that's, you know how you growing up, man. You're like you will eat whatever you can fucking find. You know.
Oh yeah,
And
I
I was
remember once I
grounded
ate
for a good minute from junk food.
remember once I ate
What-
an entire large pizza.
Same.
That's it. What kind of pizza? Like thin pizza or? Because I can down a pizza right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I don't even. Well, I know that your metabolism is probably a bit faster than mine, but I don't know. I'm used to living on like very slim pickings.
It's just sweets I can't do. That's one thing I can. I have like 1 or 2 fun size like chocolates, and then I'll give the rest away.
You know,
I just can't do sweets anymore.
Yeah, I once when I was in the military, I had to stand guard on some place along with 6 other people, and when the food came, none of them wanted to eat, so I ate all of the food.
Well, actually,
bet
part of
that
that
was
too is gut bacteria. Like if you don't eat a lot of something, then the bacteria in your gut that feed off of that will start to starve and die off. So your diet will actually affect what you can eat.
Which is why I tell people, hey, it's cool to be keto or carnivore, but you need to implement some type of carb reload or something like that once in a while, because people have had issues when they did try to switch back to eating, implementing carbs back into the diet. What they try to do.
You do have to maintain your internal ecosystem. Like,
They
people
get
probably
that.
don't like thinking about that, but like, no, you got an entire ecosystem, like multiple ecosystems going all the way from your mouth to your intestines, and all of them need different shit. So,
Hey, Tavar, coffee is my shit to this day. I drink my coffee straight black.
I'll never go to
Damn
coffee.
straight, man.
Yeah, I just if I'm able to cool it down with a couple of ice cubes, I just chug that shit. You get that whole rush of energy. You're like, yeah, huh?
I can't drink cold coffee, man. That's gross for me.
My grandma. That's I got it from her. When I was still a young adult, she's like, "Here, drink this." I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Can I have some sugar? I'm like, drink it. I'm like, fuck. So,
Grandma
I got used to it.
Grandma
I was
Yeetus
always
giving coffee.
I could never take coffee. I was always a tea person, bush tea and all that shit. So yeah.
Well, I know people who drink coffee on emergencies. If they need that energy boost.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of like that. Where I prefer tea, but if all that's on offer is coffee, I'll drink coffee.
I know a family member. It's more creamer than coffee. I'm like, you fucking weirdo.
Fucking order a large 4x4. Is like, would you like some coffee with your sugar milk?
Literally. How you not have diabetes yet, bro?
Diabetes.
Like seriously,
I mean, at that point, just order a cappuccino and get it over with.
That's a whole. Oh, and I remember when I was still in the military, I got somewhat scolded by my sergeant because I put 5 or 6 espresso shots in my coffee because I had to stay up for 24 hours for a CQ shift where the people that are at the front desk of a building got to make sure that nothing's crazy going on, right? Pretty much glorified security guards. And
the only crazy thing there was Yeetus. Just crazy coffee.
People done a lot worse than me, man. Like they've done a lot of things to try to stay awake. Hell, I was like, fuck that.
Espresso machine up to their veins.
Starbucks put 5, 6 espresso shots in my shit. And believe me, I was wired all night. But the last 2 hours of my shift, I was in the fight of my life trying to stay awake.
Yeah,
I know how
the crash. That's the thing, because caffeine's kind of like morphine for sleep. It doesn't stop you from needing it; it just stops you from getting it.
Pretty much, yeah. And when I went to go sleep, because if you do a 24-hour shift, you get off the next day. Oh, I slept good until like 6 p.m. later on that day, because you get off at around 9 a.m. I went straight to my room. I was just out. I don't recommend you guys to put 5 to 6 fucking espresso shots in your coffee. I do not recommend it. I could not. I couldn't stay still. That's how bad it was.
I mean, I think it's about it matters what type of coffee you drink, because here in my country, a lot of people just drink coffee to go to sleep. They feel better. They drink coffee and they relax and sleep. I mean, that's weird.
That sounds like they're druggies.
I guess I'm a druggie then.
Yancey Ellis. Caffeine acts like a sleep inhibitor, right? No, it's a stimulus.
Well, no, I'd actually agree with that. Where, yes, it's a stimulant, but that's because it turns off certain receptors that make you sleepy. It prevents chemical releases that allow you to go to sleep.
Yeah, because coffee is technically a drug. Technically.
Yeah.
Or stated by the FDA. I don't know who was in charge of
coffee. Coffee actually can poison and make you hallucinate if you.
You have to drink a shit ton of coffee for that to happen.
But I mean, if you don't process it right and you take it straight out of the nature,
I thought it was like over 100 cups of caffeine to kill you. Let me see.
I mean,
well, you just pick the beans off the plant and start chewing on them.
Yeah, you'd fucking die. It's gonna be a fun trip probably, but you'll die because of that.
Oh, never mind. 50 to 100 cups of coffee can be a lethal dose.
How many energy drinks is
15.
that?
I don't know,
Let's say
but I know
15.
a kid drinking energy drinks, which he shouldn't be drinking energy drinks. He died after 6, 7 cans.
Yeah, that'd do
What's
it.
drinking?
Oh,
Probably Red Bull or something.
Shit,
Red Bull
gave him
Monster.
wings for real.
shit. What the
But hey, that's I know, Chad. We've been talking about coffee for a good minute, but
Oh,
in all seriousness, right? Just some random guy. We're gonna start with you in a bit, but
sure.
last show once again, I just put in the link in the chat. If you guys have any questions, any statements, you just want to donate, go ahead and click on that link and donate to paypal.me/Yeetus. I'll get to you immediately because I don't want to leave you guys hanging at all. And all your donations are definitely appreciated. So, just a random guy.
Yep.
We want to get back into the original topic. When it comes to the Simps and Whiteknights, right? Simps and Whiteknights. There's always going to be Simps and Whiteknights, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to that aspect, how do I say? What would be the solution to deal with Simps and Whiteknights? Because my first thought is show them the red pill, right?
Hmm.
Show them the Warband ideology. But what if they refuse that?
Donate to PayPal./Yeetus.
Yes. You donate to PayPal.me/Yeetus. That's a perfect one. Yes. Go ahead and donate. That will save all the Simps and Whiteknights.
Lord, you may be saved for a tithe.
You make them simple to Warband, then
You gotta
they
walk around with
become
a
red
basket,
pill.
make people donate.
Get
cheap
Manic
Warband.
a female VR character.
Carry on. What about you?
I don't think he said anything. I don't.
I know,
Well-
but is he there? Where you at?
Okay. I don't know where he is.
All right, there you go. Yeah. So, what about you when it comes to this topic? What would you do with these Simps and Whiteknights? What would be the solution to you? Any solution?
Man, any solution?
Any
You
solution.
can't just go brute force because that'll break them. And if you try to go brute force, they'll build a stronger wall. So your idea, what you're trying to tell them, will just bounce back further away. So you have to just tell them small bits. Just show them oh, look at that. This is what's happening there. And after you it's like a child. You don't just drag a child into how to ride a bike. You teach them slowly and build them up so they understand where they're going. It's this is what's happening. This is what's going to happen. And this is the reason why it's happening. Show them like a child because these people are technically in a state of they don't know anything. Most people learn best as you train them with respect, but like a child at the same time. And you shouldn't just be forced because if you're dragging someone into shit, it breaks them. Or if it doesn't break them, they will make a great shield. And it's oh, you're crazy. That's why people you say, oh, look at this without softening the blow. It's oh, you're crazy. Well, you're showing me some crazy shit. So yeah, it's best to drag them. More often drag them, guide them, not drag them. Guide them slowly to show them all the stuff that you know. This is what I know. We're gonna start from the most simple thing, this girl. See what they are the most likely to accept, and after it's hey, this is this. You understand? You agree with me on this subtopic too? Yeah, seeing moms are bad because this is this. You're gonna show them slowly and slowly more of the ideologies. They're do you believe this? And it's nah. Okay, let me show you more so you understand where I'm coming from because. We're not trying to bash their heads in with this shit. We're trying to guide them.
I agree with. Okay, I agree with that.
But something's gonna happen And if you taught them enough stuff, they're going like, oh, something like what he said is not completely bullshit. He's not completely crazy. He's not like turn the frogs gay and all that crap. So it's like at that point, if something really happens to them or they see something in their own life where what you were telling them was truthful, like, okay, maybe what he's saying isn't just his own delusions or delusions of people that were sent their own way or some crazy crap like that. It's like, okay, yeah, what he has actually has some merit and value behind it.
Ed also, guide is useless. You're going against the worldview of the simp. It is ingrained into the soul.
Yeah. Well, you're not trying like we're not the hammer. You're telling just you're telling just putting the nail in the right place where when the hammer actually does come, which is an event or situation that they see or experience themselves, it will actually go through and penetrate their wall. And the hammer's definitely going to be a woman. She's going to do something to them or someone that they know and care about. As they'll be like, well, I told you this would happen. And it happened. So was I crazy? Or what was I saying did have some merit behind it?
Yep.
It also depends on the age. It also does depend on the age and the person and the environment that they were raised up in. Some people are much more easier to listen to open ideas. If someone was raised in a single parent household where they were just bombarded with like feminist ideology from a young age and they didn't ever like say this don't make no sense or they didn't like because there's some people that actually do believe that females are perfect. And there's other people that were raised in like those environments of like a single mom and they believe there'll be more like okay, there's two types of children raised up in single parent households. It's the one that believes women are great and the one that believes women are shit. So like those are the two groups that I could say.
All right. Gray,
Mm-hmm.
you're the last one. Well, what do you have
Well.
to say about the topic? Or
Well, okay, I've got two ways. The first one is you've got to understand that they simp on an emotional level. Trying to approach them with logic, it won't work. They're not logical. It's not a logical thing that they have. They will have to suffer. They need to suffer until it can no longer be denied. And there will be those you can't reach. You can't reach all of them because it's such an ingrained part of their identity that to lose, like if one has the identity of a simp and they can no longer simp, they will die. Probably by their own hand. And you cannot save them. But this is where I'm going to disagree with Carrie on like when they fuck up going, I told you so.
Well, no, not in that way. But it's like, yeah. I honestly
no,
mean,
but
like,
you can't approach that's the thing.
Yeah.
Approaching them after they have suffered,
they have to approach you.
Will not help them. They will push away.
Yeah.
They have to come to you.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Like if you just go up to them, they just go see you as a dick. Like, oh yeah, I told you. Like you have to they have to come to you like I kind of told you this will happen. You have to be soft at the same time. Like you're harsh.
No, that's the thing. I'd say like no, you don't go. I told you so. You wait for them to ask questions.
Yeah.
You answer.
I'm not gonna go up to them. Oh, I told you so happened, man. Yeah. But
no, even saying I told you so at all. Like if they go, they ask, hey, what can I do? You tell them, and you leave it at that. You never acknowledge that you warned them before.
Yeah, I get it. It does depend on certain people. It's like the people I'm surrounded with are a little bit more different in aspects. Like with the situation I went through with them. So yeah, it doesn't work with everyone, and it's better to be more careful with situations like when people are going through some shit. Like if it's really bad, or if it's not that bad, because they don't want to be told they were wrong or that they didn't listen to someone, because people don't like being told that in general.
That's the thing. Like you give information when asked, nothing more. Anything more than what they ask for, they're going to push away. They're going to defy, if only for that element of control.
Yep. Pretty much.
And then there's the other way. You get them a sex doll and they will fuck the simp out of themselves.
Yeah,
That's a good one, John.
That
But-
literally, that's been the experience. I've listened to a couple other podcasts, and yeah, one of the testimonies is like this one guy, like he got his doll, and he went on a fucking marathon with it, and all desire to simp was completely purged. So that's the thing. If you really want to get the simp out of a guy who's hurting, drop a couple grand, get him a sex doll.
Oh, we got TFM in this bitch.
That's
I'm just fucking around.
it's better if they go for it themselves. But like, if you wanted to be like, look, I need you to stop fucking simping. You browse their fucking internet history, find their waifu, drop a couple grand, order said waifu, give them said waifu, and say, I don't want to know. Here you go.
I much rather
Enjoy.
them do that. I will advocate for them to get a fucking doll than to deal with these Western women.
Like,
It's not worth
it.
it.
Because that's the thing. They'll like, after they have busted fucking years worth of repressed nutting, they will probably think more clearly than they ever have before.
Post nut clarity.
And then
Save
they'll probably
moment.
thank you, and then you'll be able to have rational discussions with them because you'll have finally dealt with the emotional bullshit that was holding them back.
They'll start curing cancer and shit, right?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure that if you went out and got every single horny kid a fucking sex doll, yeah, you would actually get a lot more fucking cancer curing and better artists and shit. The amount of guys that just need to get a fucking nut off so they can focus on the rest of their life, you see the consequences.
Pretty much. But
Yeah.
thank you for your input, Gray. We are going to be ending this live stream here, gentlemen. Tomorrow will be an interesting live stream. I'm gonna see if I can bring somebody on tomorrow. I'm gonna send out a few emails, but tomorrow's topic is going to be pretty interesting. Hopefully, I'll get full participation. Thank you all the guests for joining. Okay, this conversation literally went all over the place, but it was still pretty fun. I enjoyed it. And I'm sure the chat enjoyed it too. I saw one comment saying, God damn it, Yeetus, I was enjoying the coffee conversation. But
I mean, in
this
the
is-
end, it came to sex dolls.
yeah, sex dolls as well, yeah. But thank everybody for joining. Thank you for anybody that donated or is going to donate because of you guys. My channel is where it's at today. I am almost at 6,000 subs. Let's go.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Let's get it. I'm still going up from here. There is no slowing down. So, this is Sir Yeetus. Hope you guys had your daily dose of red pills. And I am out. Peace.
Peace. And
Peace.
puniti.
Learn your toto.
Pun-